YouTubers out there in YouTube land. This is Rick from leftcoastoverland, and today I was going to change things up and do a unboxing and initial review of the Ares, or Ares depending how you want to pronounce it, Diver-1 Bravo. So the Diver-1 Black watch. It was gifted to me as a very belated birthday gift from back in May from a very good friend of mine, and I wanted to take the opportunity to show it off a little bit. It is a very nice piece of equipment, and I'm very happy to be a proud owner of it. And there's a lot of care and touch that went into all of the packaging and everything, and definitely the watch itself. So I want to showcase that a little bit for Ares. I noticed that nobody else yet has done a review, so it's definitely time to put one together and send it out to you folks. So why don't you follow me along, and hopefully you get something out of it. So this is the initial package. It just comes in a priority mail soft envelope that's got some Ares tagged on it, which I always appreciated because as a young man I would regularly make stencils and tag my things with them. So that kind of is a theme that continues with the entire packaging of the Ares product. So here's Diver-1 Bravo. They only have a few models. They've got the Diver-1, the 1 Bravo, and the 1 Charlie, which is the combination of kind of the stainless and the black. And then they're also coming out with a GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, and it's it's a unique approach to watchmaking. It's kind of like going in and out. Like, you get three choices. You get a single, a double, or a double with cheese. 1, 2, and 3. Makes it really simple. Anyways, continuing on. So we have a security seal, which is pretty great. It's got the serial number printed on it. So this box is going to live in my collection of things as the home for this particular watch. So, Diver-1 lifetime warranty is guaranteed for life against manufacturing defects and or craftsmanship errors. If your watch breaks because of Ares, it will be repaired or replaced without question for life. Your Diver-1 is equipped with a 10-year lithium-ion battery. I can't read the rest of that. There's a sticker in the way. And if your watch breaks because of you, Ares will fix it or repair it and send it back to you. Pretty cool. You know, there's not a whole lot of companies anymore that stand behind their product for life, so that's definitely appreciated. And there's a lot of personal touches. So we've got this little note in here that was written by Matt, the designer and CEO and manufacturer of Ares watches. And it says, I didn't want to delay delivering your watch. Your handmade leather strap will follow, and it's signed by Matt. Pretty hard to find any sort of manufacturer that's going to take the time to write a handwritten note regarding their products. So this is how it comes. I've already worn the watch now for a few days, so I repackaged it back as it came. So I apologize for that. It's not a true unboxing, but I figured in order to give you an unbiased opinion, I was going to put it on for a little bit. So it comes with a tag of certification with serial number, and then also that it's been tested to 40 atmospheres of water on a date of August 2019. And that's what the watch looks like. So originally it came with the lighter green band. I'm not a fan of that sage green color, so I switched it out for the supplied olive drab green band, which I think looks much better. Continuing to dig in, a nice little tagged zip pouch, just made out of cloth. Cordura, actually. Continuing on, there's a roll top dry bag that's got 2 spring bars in it, in case one gets lost or broken, and then 2 replacement bands. So there's the sage green band that was originally on the watch when it came in the package, and a black band, as well as the green band that I've swapped out. So let's talk about the watch. The watch is beautiful. The watch is probably the nicest watch that I've ever had the privilege of owning. It's incredibly well built. You can tell that its tolerances are perfect. Its machining, all of it is top notch. What I would expect out of a $650 timepiece. It has all the features of a regular dive watch, the bezel of which you can see that I'm rotating for timing things, which is great. It's also got a red second hand timer, which I like because it stands out, and then it's got nice big features, the numbers, the hour and minute hands, all of it. It's also very basic. It's only got the one screwed, I guess, I don't want to call it a bezel, but a crown, I think, for making adjustments. It came adjusted to Pacific Standard Time. The company is based out of Seattle, and I think it's pretty well spot on. I compared it against my telephone time, which is regularly updated, obviously, because it's connected to the network, and it was right there. The back case looks like it's got Aries sapphire. It's got my serial number and the rating, 300 meters or 1,000 feet. Ares watch code Diver-1 Bravo, Swiss quartz, and a little American flag, which I'm not sure if it's inscribed. It actually looks like writing in there, very, very fine writing. So I'm gonna have to take a magnifying glass to that to determine if that's writing or if those are just tooling marks from, I'm assuming what they engraved it with was a laser. But that could be a fun little Easter egg if each one of those lines has some fun little fact or something written in there, I don't know. But Matt, the designer and manufacturer, I gather his background is with the Central Intelligence Agency as a what seemed like a logistics operative, somebody who makes things, all the special little fun stuff. What I imagine to be the character of Q from James Bond series. That'd be kind of cool, right? So a real life Q designed this watch. It doesn't have any lasers or remote detonator timers or anything like that you would expect out of the latest and greatest Rolex that 007 would be wearing. But it's pretty well the next best thing. So let's talk about the luminescence of it. It is not tritium. It has just a phosphorescent luminous type of paint on it, which does require recharging with UV light. So that's one thing that kind of was a surprise to me. I've owned several tritium watches in the past. The tritium is it's nice because if you were in the case of those 14 soccer kids that got stuck in that cave when the water levels rose out in Thailand about a year ago, they had no source of light and they had no way to recharge a watch or see the luminescence. After a couple of days it would have faded and they wouldn't have been able to read the time. Tritium is a radioactive material that has a half-life of over 10 years. So a single tritium vial will glow day and night for a very, very, very long time, albeit not as bright as this luminescent paint that's been put on this watch. This watch is incredibly bright when it is fully charged by either the sun or an artificial UV light source. So at night, or even under dim lighting conditions, it is an incredibly bright bright watch face. So it's easy to read in the darkest of conditions, but it does fade. I noticed that by the morning, it's not as bright, and it's a little bit harder to read the fine lines, specifically the numbers on the bezel. I can still make out the 3, the 6, the 9, no problem, but the finer numbers are a little bit harder to read once the brightness has faded over, say 12 hours of not being recharged by artificial or UV light. So that's something to consider. Definitely not a deal breaker, but I have a sweet spot for tritium watches and tritium gun sights and things like that, just because they don't need to be recharged. They run and run and run and run and run for a long time, which is, I think, pretty cool. But I'm sure that there's other hazards. It is radioactive, so maybe Matt knows more than the average person about this stuff, and he chose to not include tritium inserts. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Maybe he can weigh in on this. What else can I talk about? It's missing a date window, right? So I find myself, now that I've been wearing the Diver-1 for the last few days since receiving it, looking for the date window. So this is my tried and true, trusty Casio G-Shock that I've been wearing forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And it's a great watch. You can't go wrong with the G-Shock. It takes a licking, keeps on ticking. So having the date is really important to me because I'm constantly filling out paperwork for work that has date slots in it, and I'm constantly referencing it. So now I won't be able to reference my wristwatch. I'll have to reference my telephone and then remember that specific date. Not too big of a deal. I'll just have to get used to it. I've kind of grown accustomed to just having it, and I guess that's a crutch. So no big deal. It definitely keeps the lines cleaner to not have the date window there, but something that's typical on a wristwatch, not a deal breaker again. I do like this watch very, very much. It just looks cool. I mean, it looks clean and crisp, and it's got a great profile. It's not too big on the wrist. The G-Shock, for comparison, is slightly larger. And I do have a metal link band. It's the Leatherman Tread that I've incorporated with it. It's fun. Have I used the tools? A few times. Is it the best option? No, not really. But hey, it's cool to be like, hey, I've always got a Phillips head screwdriver or whatever size hex wrench that is on my wrist at all times, day or night, whether or not I'm in my birthday suit. You've always got a couple of tools, which, for what it's worth, the one thing that Leatherman could improve upon is the clasp. It comes loose, so if I bang my wrist or something like that against a firm surface, I've noticed that the clasp comes undone. And I've also broken one spring bar since it's been installed, so I don't know if that's an added stress point just for having extra weight and it's slinging around. But enough about the G-Shock. We're not reviewing it. We are reviewing the Ares Diver-1 Bravo 1B. What else about it? So it's missing the date. It doesn't have the tritium inserts. Other than that, it's pretty spot on. Like I said, its profile is great. It feels really nice on the wrist. It doesn't pinch or tear out my hair. And another thing about it is it's incredibly light. It's manufactured out of steel, but it's not so heavy. I've gotten, again, accustomed to a very heavy timepiece, especially because it has the Leatherman tread on it, and this is significantly lighter. So all in all, it is a fabulous heirloom, collectible, and usable watch. Like Matt says on his videos, that he designed this watch for life, and I am a firm believer in that. As you can see, this G-Shock has taken a beating. It lived through many years as a wildland firefighter, operating chainsaws and hand tools and all sorts of things that are, you know, lots of impact and slamming around and banging and stuff. And you know, I don't do that for a profession anymore. I'm now a helicopter pilot, so you know, having a little bit more refined timepiece isn't such a bad thing. It is important to me to be able to time things accurately for startup and shutdown procedures, and for flight timing. It's important to have some features, whether it's a bezel or a digital chronometer stopwatch type function. So I do like that. I would like the GMT function. I think that that's really great. It's a fourth arm that's also red that's on that different watch, and it I'm assuming is the GMT hour, and then you just transpose the minutes, which is pretty cool. As a pilot, everything is all the information is denominated in Zulu time, which is also the same as GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. So, not a deal breaker for me. This was a wristwatch that was gifted to me, so I didn't choose this one, but I believe that my good friend made a very, very good choice in representing me. You know, it's a tactical type looking watch, which I appreciate. It's a dive watch, which I appreciate because I am a diver. I do like scuba and free diving. So I've got other watches that I use for free diving purposes. They're dive computers, but this one I would gladly take on a dive. And the other thing is, it's just a cool part of kind of the EDC thing. So I mean, it just goes with the look. Other things to, I guess, maybe one day do reviews on. This is the Emerson Bulldog, which was again a present. It was gifted to me, and I absolutely love it. It's a great watch. And a pair of Knoxvilles made by Electric Sunglasses Company. So it all kind of fits together with the look and functionality. I don't go anywhere without those three things: a pocket watch, a wristwatch, a pocket knife, and a pair of sunglasses. Honestly, I can't leave the house and function. It's sad, but you know, those are the only three things that I need to function at the same time. So maybe a wallet and some car keys or some other stuff. But yeah, that's it. If anybody has any questions on the Ares wristwatch, feel free to shoot me comments in the comment section below. I hope you got some value out of my little rant, or not even rant, but just ramble. The Ares products are great. I'm really, really excited to be an owner of this watch. I'm sure it will last me many, 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 many years. I don't foresee it failing on me, ever. I don't think it will. At you know, first impressions of it is so well built that I can't see it failing. And if it does, well, it's backed by a great warranty. So I happily will send it back after I run it through the paces of my lifestyle, and we'll see what Matt says, if it's due to craftsmanship error or user error. But no, I'm not going to intentionally damage this watch. I'm going to cherish it, but I'm also going to wear it and do my daily day-to-day, whether it means running a chainsaw or flying a helicopter or diving in, you know, coral and scraping it up and running it through the gamut. It will see everything that my life has to offer, and I'm sure it will do just fine. So there it is, the Ares Diver-1 in black finish. So Diver-1B, bravo. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time, pun intended, and hopefully we'll see you out there. Take care.